River Resort and the Golden Moon Casino and all that. So we're looking forward to that. We are the Out of Bounds Show. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone, and we're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app, and you can watch the show right now on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. We welcome in Scott Padgett, MSU Hoops assistant coach, played at Kentucky for Pitino and Tubby, and the MSU fan base is glad that he is in Starkville. And this segment is brought to you by Two Brothers Smoked Meats in the historic Cotton District. Scott Padgett, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing well. How about that come from behind victory for y'all on Sunday against a really good Utah team where you're down double digits and Jans and the staff and the players respond, and y'all get out of there with a big dub on a neutral floor?
Well, I think it's something that you need, I think, early in the season is to get tested and see where you kind of see what kind of team you got as far as how tough you are, what kind of grit you got. Are you going to lay down when something like that happens to you? Are you going to fight back? And I think it was good for us to be able to see that, our guys can respond in that situation like they did. Obviously struggled shooting the ball, struggled offensively, in the first half, and then, little Hub, gets going, and then it kind of leads to everybody getting going, and we're able to, claw our way back.
All right, talk about that. You played with great players at Kentucky in the 90s and the NBA, and against them, as good as Arkansas and Mississippi State and Bama and Florida and some other teams were. How does Josh Hubbard stack up to some of the great college players that you played with and against, Coach?
Well, I'll say he's very similar in that, I think a great player can come in and change the game quickly. The first four possessions, it went from, we couldn't, throw it in the ocean to the first four possessions in the second half. He's got 8, we've got 11, and now it went from, you're down 11 at half to where it's basically a brand new ball game, that's what a great player can do is one, they can get you going, but then people focus so much on that great player that then it gives openings to other guys.
No doubt, man. That young man is clutch, and went to school right over here at MRA, was fantastic last year, and he, among others, did a great job against Utah. We're visiting with Scott Padgett, MSU Hoops coach. They go to SMU on Friday, and they're coming off a heck of a game against Utah over the weekend in DeSoto County. They're undefeated. Okay, walk me so you got Cam Matthews and Keyshawn Murphy, and they're very versatile. We had Jans on a couple of weeks ago, and they're both really versatile players. Can combo 3-4, combo 4-5, depending. And I know y'all are doing some point forward with Cam and all that. And it's early. But one of the big question marks on the team is what y'all are going to do down low and if you have enough. You look really athletic and longer, and you put some really good pieces around Hub going into this year. How do you see this? Which way is this trending, and how do you feel about guys playing, in that 4-5 and rotating through there, Coach?
Well, I think obviously those two do a lot of really good things, and Keyshawn obviously had a huge game for us, especially in that second half. 18 and 14, and I think, to be honest with you, he's kind of scratching the surface. If you really look at it, he's never really had a consistent role, consistent minutes, and he's getting that first opportunity really in college. He's had some moments. Obviously North Texas helped us last year get that win against them and had some good moments in games in conference. But this is his first true, run where he knows he's getting minutes every night. And I think he's just going to keep getting better and better as his feel, his comfort level goes, up on what we're doing and how to expand on his role. Obviously Cam's, he's as Coach calls him, he's a Swiss Army knife. He does a little bit of everything for us. what you like about him is he can guard everybody. He rebounds every day, and then he can create for others. And what he's really good at, and I think you saw that the best against Utah the other day was getting in the paint, drawing fouls, which helps get us in the bonus and get us more. I don't think we've seen that as much in the earlier games because, to be honest with you, we were making more shots in some of the earlier games. So when we're kicking out, we're knocking down a shot. You don't get as many fouls when you're when you're making them. Everybody's shooting them, and you don't get as many fouls.
That's true.
But he did a good job of drawing fouls for us. And then I think going from there is guys like Mike Nwoku and Jeremy Famina and they just got to keep getting better every day. The reality is when you come out here, the goal is to win games, right? And so right now they're probably playing a lesser role because they're learning. They're still learning. And as the year goes along, they're going to continue to learn, and they're going to give us more at those spots. But until they're ready to win games, like playing 25 minutes and win games, you might see a smaller lineup and things like that a little more often, which just means we got to have a more concerted effort on the backboard. We've got to do a better job or do a great job of being aggressive and getting our hands on balls and turn people over and things like that to make up for maybe things that a size differential hurts you on. Like we do have a team that's different than what we've had in the past as far as size, strength, things like that. But we also have a team that's different in how many people we have that can create for others, create for themselves, can make shots. So, with every team, there's a give and a take on what you have. So, we've got to make a concerted effort to everybody's boxing out. We got to make a concerted effort to turning teams over, to make up maybe for some of that size and strength of rebounding and things that we've had in the past.
He is Scott Padgett, MSU Hoops assistant on the Out of Bounds show under Chris Jans, and back-to-back NCAA tournament bursts for the Dogs. Some really big wins last year. Had a heck of a run in the SEC basketball tournament too, and now undefeated. But they had a heck of a game Sunday against Utah, and I thought Utah had some players and some athletes. And then now they go to SMU, and they've got a challenging non-con schedule. Scott Padgett joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. He played at UK for Rick Pitino, Tubby Smith. Now, you played for the Utah Jazz under Jerry Sloan, and you played with Karl Malone and John Stockton?
Yep, for 4 years.
Have you told Cam Matthews that he needs to channel his inner Karl Malone so that y'all can go to the Sweet 16 Final Four or something?
I'll be honest with you. The way we play him, I want him to channel his inner Draymond Green.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Yes.
He'll still be tough, great defender, rebound, but, push the ball, create for others. You score when the opportunity's there, but, if people struggle keeping you from getting downhill and they have to help finding other people, and, kind of, again, it's kind of what Coach talks about, that Swiss Army knife, being able to be good at a lot of things. How
fired up were you to see Cam hit 5 straight? He went 5 of 6 down the stretch, which is awesome, but he hit 5 straight down the stretch for y'all against Utah. How excited were you to see that at the free throw line?
He's worked really, really hard this off season, and it's one thing. I think he just needed that kind of 2 in a row to go, because he's really shot it well this off season, and of getting to the line, even getting better shooting his 3. And so I think he just needed that first time in a game success where he hits 2 in a row, and then it took a lot of pressure off of him. I think, when you have struggles from the past and you go out there and maybe miss your first, your first free throw or 2, it makes you think. And I think he just had to do, what he had to do was get in there and just trust the work that he put in all off season. And I think he's going to shoot it well this year. I know he started slow, but I think he's closer to the guy you saw this Sunday than the guy who was shooting 50% last year.
Yeah. Scott Pageant, MSU Hoops assistant on the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I want to go back to Keyshawn Murphy. We talked to Jans about this too. You mentioned it briefly in the beginning of the interview. He's been hurt basically for 3 years, and now he's healthy. And the young man, he's got the body. I think he's got mad skills. Scott, do you think he's just scratching the surface on what kind of player he can be now that he's healthy?
I do. I think, the more game time, that he gets, I think the more confidence he just keeps growing and growing more confident and understanding some things that you do in practice, you don't do in games, right? And I think one of the things he's shown a good job of that is, he's got 9 assists and 4 turnovers this year at a center. Basically, he's played a lot of his minutes at center.
Wow.
For a center to have over a 2-to-1 assist turn.
Jans and the staff seeing from him.
Great motor. He helps erase a lot of mistakes that we make defensively.
That's a good point.
He's a lot like Cam in that, they can go out there and they know our defense inside and out, and they can make up a mistake for somebody else with their ability to see ahead of the play and their athleticism. Like the play he made the other night, the block he had, he shouldn't even have been nowhere near the play, but he saw it and made a play and gets a block, or they try to throw a lob and he sees it and knocks the ball away. So defensively, he just erases a lot of mistakes. Offensively, I think he's a great cutter. He does a good job of sneaking behind the defense and cutting and getting finishes around the basket. He's really good in transition. And I think the next step for him is when he gets downhill, is learning just to play off 2 feet more, to where he's a little more in control. Like if I know I don't have it all the way to the rim, play off 2 feet more, but he's getting better in that area. It's an area that I think he's improved on from last year. And then obviously I think, he keeps working and trying to get better, be that guy, make that corner 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that young man's got some serious skills, raw, but tons of upside in runway. Scott Pageant, MSU Hoops assistant on the Out of Bounds show. All right, Scott, we appreciate you stopping by. And just real quick, 15 seconds. What, as far as Jans and the staff, what jumps out at you when you look at SMU on tape?
They're big. Their athleticism. They really push the ball. I think they're number 1 or 2 in the country in time of possession. So they in a fast way. They shoot the ball in 13 and under seconds. So this is gonna, and we're not that far behind. I think we're 21 right now. So it could be a fast.
I love it. All right. Well, this could be wild in Dallas on Friday. Scott Pageant, thanks so much, man. Hope to catch up again soon.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate having me on.
Dude played for Rick Pitino, played for Jerry Sloan. I mean, he played for some dudes. That's pretty awesome right there. And we are the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And that was Scott Pageant joining us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line, brought to you by Mississippi's College Town, Starkville, Mississippi, adding new restaurants, new hotels, multi-million-dollar expansion at Starkville Country Club. They told us about the big renovation downtown where they're shutting down a couple of streets, but it's going to be great. Tens of millions of dollars.
Wait, whoa.
When I did that,
what do you mean?
So down in the when I did the remote there,
Yeah.
and we had Mayor Lynn Sproul and Paige Hunt.
Good remote.
Yeah. So they're totally revitalizing and renovating the street and the sidewalks down in the downtown Main Street area. And then they're doing a huge revitalization project on the other side, which is Highway 82.
Oh, yeah.
So it's more of a beautification. bigger, better sidewalks. People can eat, drink coffee outside, have dinner, have lunch, have drinks. Better for restaurants, better for retail.
That's cool.
I don't remember what the price was, but I think it was $80 million or something. It's going to be between the downtown, like around Restaurant Tyler, around Hobie's, around Spring Street Cigars in Starkville, the boutique hotel there, all of that. That's the renovation. And then on the other side, Highway 82.
That's tight.
Yeah, they need it.
Yeah, that's cool.
They've done a great job the last few years, and Starkville CVB is Starkville Tourism's right there, which I think was one of the smartest things they ever did. They moved downtown. They're just down from, well, they're just across the street from Hobie's.
Yeah.
Or
dang, yeah.
Starkville Cafe or something. Right in that area.
In the touristy part?
Yeah. And then, you've got condos above them and behind them and things like that. And then you've got Spring Street Cigars diagonal on the other end in that beautiful building where you can go get a Rocky Patel ALR or a Fuente or Zeno Davidoff or any number of premium cigars. But, they used to do Midnight Madness there.
Really?
Yeah, so we rented a place there above Starkville Cafe. You remember that?
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
I found the coolest apartment.
Yeah.
And it wasn't expensive, but I could see our windows were over Main Street.
Right.
Well, this was when Wilkes was little. Okay. And so it was like Q Weatherspoon time. Okay. And he was all right. And
Right.
Wilkes thought Q was
the man.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, they would have it out there, and it was like pumpkin something. It wasn't Pumpkin Palooza, but it was Pumpkin Palooza, Midnight Madness. I don't know.
Right.
And so it was great. And all the kids got to visit with the players. And what Wilkes did from time he was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old is he could go down the steps, and the steps led right into Starkville Cafe. Well, he was a cute little kid at that time.
Sure.
So he made friends with the waitresses there.
Of course.
And he would just sit up at the bar, and they'd give him chocolate milk and scrambled eggs and bacon.
I loved when you had that place.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That place was lit.
Yeah.
I think if I had
You saw it. You
Yeah.
hung out there.
Yeah, if I had a spot, I think that's where I'd wanted to be.
That's what I wanted. It's exactly what I wanted.
No doubt.
Before we,
Of course,
did something else.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. It was everything I wanted.
For that point in time?
Yeah.
And
That was during the Q Weatherspoon 2013 John Cohen run and eventually Dak days.
That's right.
So there was a lot happening. Howland,
Was it?
I don't remember when Howland started.
15, 16?
Somewhere in there. Anyway, Q and Malik started in the same year, right? Yeah. Yeah. Because everybody was surprised that Q was so good because Malik got all the headlines, which is fine. His 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year. But I can remember Wilkes got to hang out with Q and how nice he was.
Oh, Q's a great.
He's a super kid.
Yeah.
Super kid.
What they used to say about me, man.
Is it?
It's debatable.
Okay.
I got some people in Carthage who would probably debate that pretty heavily. When Paul Carter.
It ain't bragging if you can back it up.
But,
Ole Miss beat Colorado State over the weekend in DeSoto County.
How about that?
So I think they won by 15. Mississippi State pulled away from Utah late. Josh Hubbard was unbelievable coming out of halftime. He's just going to have to take over at times when others can't. You don't want that to happen often, but when they can't throw it in the ocean, you just got Josh. You can't stop him.
Let him go.
And then
so
Keyshawn Murphy really played well. He's got an NBA body, and he's got mad skills, and he's been hurt for 3 years, and now he's healthy, and he dropped 18 and 14 against Utah. Kid can play. He's just gone through a ton of injuries. He and Tolu got hurt at the same time. People forget that they were out forever last year, and Jan still drove that team to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Tolu and Keyshawn were healthy?
Playing ball.
Add another win or two, and they don't have to play Michigan State and Charlotte.
Oh, that's right.
In an 8-9 seed, which I thought they had played their way out of that after they beat Dalton Connect in Tennessee in the SEC tournament for the second time. Did you see what Dalton Connect did the other night for the Lakers? He scored 22 points in a row.
That boy.
Do you know how hard that is to do in the NBA? I don't care if you're
So
MJ or
hard.
Kobe or Steph
Dude.
or
did
Larry.
What?
The other night, he dropped 27 points. He scored 22 in a row. I was watching the highlights the other morning, and he was my favorite player last year in college basketball. I got to see him play in Starkville, and Hub dropped 25 on Tennessee. That was his coming out party. Okay? And he and Dalton Connect went shot for shot. And I said it then, he's one of the best players in the country. He had to go to JUCO, then Northern Colorado, and then Rick Barnes and them picked him up.
God, I love that dude.
The dude's a freak.
Oh, God.
And you could tell that night at the hump, first of all, his basketball IQ is insane.
Huge.
Second, he moves without the ball, which not all kids do in college.
Right.
Second, he can handle it, plus he understands how to cut to the basket and get open in spacing. So
He dropped 37 last night.
that's what okay.
Well, still 37 last night. So 22 in a row last night?
Yeah,
Oh.
22 in a row.
What is he doing? 9 3-pointers made. Hey, he's got the best last name in all of basketball.
Dalton Connect.
You're going to shoot it, you better connect.
Awesome. I loved watching him play last year. And Mississippi State beat him twice. And they gave him an 8 or 9 seed. Are you serious? We are the Out of Bounds Show. Lunch today brought to you by Fleetway Market and the Market Cafe at Gluckstadt. It's where you go to get an awesome blue plate. Don't forget they have catfish on Fridays at Fleetway Market and the Market Cafe in Gluckstadt.